I just want to wish a season's greeting and happy new year to everybody. I want to thank everybody for supporting me on Steemit. I have reached 500 followers and I'm now exceeding it, so I'm going to begin my giveaway. I'm going to start compiling uh, things to put in the little giveaway basket, and then I will post the contest rules and we'll be on our way. But I want to thank you all for supporting me. And I just want to do a quick reflection on Christmas, and hopefully it'll be real quick because I'm in Las Vegas and I'm tired, but I wanted to head home pretty soon. So that's a 4-hour drive. I got some stuff to do at home, and I still need to pack a little bit. So it's already like 2 o'clock in the morning. But I just wanted to do a quick commentary because my son had his Christmas break play, and it wasn't really a Christmas play. I remember when I went to elementary school, we would do a Christmas play before we would leave for Christmas break, and they had nothing even remotely resembling Christmas. Everybody wore black, and they did a globalist, multicultural type presentation about how we're all one family. And they're always trying to take Christ out of Christmas. And I find it so funny how similar the times are to when Jesus walked the earth as to now, 2,000 years later, that people are always trying to remove him from the Christmas story. In the beginning, it was King Herod trying to kill the newborn king that was prophesied to come and rule over all kings. And because Herod didn't want to be threatened on the throne, he had to try to eliminate this new baby. And he sent the three sages, or they say kings. I don't read that in the Bible, but there were three people from the Orient that came, or from the East that came, and they were to go find the baby where he was born. And they were sages, they were wise, they knew about the stars and they knew about the prophecies, so they were able to follow the star to where the baby was. And when they finally saw the baby, they gave him the kingly gifts and they were gone. But Herod tried to remove Jesus, or Christ, out of Christmas. And we see that today too. I see it, here they tried to take Christmas out of this play, and they like to use it in commercial advertising that it's Xmas time. And although this year has been the most Christmassy I've ever seen, and I have a feeling it has to do with President Trump pushing Christmas, saying that it's okay to say Christmas again, Merry Christmas. And I met some people here in Las Vegas, some black people, shockingly enough, because usually black people vote Democrat. But they were saying, isn't it great that we are experiencing Christmas and that we can say it again? And it has to do with our president focusing on it. So, it's a great thing. And I'm just glad that we're experiencing it again. I mean, I'm driving down the street and I'm seeing a lot more lights. In past years, when President Obama was in office, there weren't many lights around, and it felt like Christmas was, going underground because I think that there were a lot of assaults on Christians and Christianity, and I think people were kind of afraid to show that they were Christian and that they were celebrating Christmas. And now they're actually putting lights out. So, even though they're trying to remove Christmas from, or Christ from Christmas, I actually believe that that's a good thing. It's a good thing because as a Christian, as a Catholic, it makes it more valuable to me, the traditions that we celebrate during Christmas, the putting up the beautiful lights, the decorating of the evergreen trees, the beautiful music that some people hate because a lot of it's been commercialized, and even the Christmas music of today is not as sacred as it used to be. It's not as holy and solemn, and in a lot of ways the love has been lost, and some people feel really lonely during Christmas. So, and a lot of it's because of the materialism from the corporatization of Christmas, where everyone has to go out and buy gifts for everybody else. When in reality, what the Christmas present was about was the fact that God decided to wrap the eternal spirit of his Son in a flesh body like ours. And that's why we also wrap the Spirit of God, and we are made in his image. It's a deep philosophy to think about, that the Spirit of God resides in us, and we are wrapping that in this hard material or physical material, but the Spirit is eternal, and that's the gift. You have eternal life if you want it, and all you have to do is follow the ways that God prescribes to you. And that's the hardest thing for people to do. They cannot follow directions at all. People do not want to follow. And so they lose their eternal life over it. But it's a gift that's given to us freely. And a lot of people forsake that gift. And they try to supplant or to replace that gift with toys and TV screens and clothes and trinkets, which, it's great that you get those gifts. It's nice to give to people. But really, is that the gift that we're supposed to be celebrating during Christmas? It's nice to give those gifts, don't get me wrong, and I like to give those gifts as well, and I like to receive them. But the best gifts you can give are those that give life, those that maintain life, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to provide shelter for the homeless. And are we really doing that in this country? I mean, honestly, I'm kind of ashamed to be an American, and I drive down the streets in California and I see a lot of homeless people. Even in a lot of wealthy areas, there are homeless people. And what do? They send the police to shuffle them off. And alongside the freeways, I see tent cities, people living in tents. And especially right now during Christmas, it's cold. And in a lot of ways, if you're suffering now in this world, you can really unite your suffering with what Jesus Christ went through. A baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, put in a trough where animals drool and eat and spit, and that was his bed. God humbled himself so much that he wrapped himself as a human being and put himself in a trough to symbolize the food, the bread of life that feeds everybody, not just physically but spiritually. It's a gift that's been lost in all the hustle and bustle of Christmas shopping. And yes, it's still Christmas to us Christians, at least to the Catholics. We celebrate 12 days of Christmas. So Christmas goes on into January for us. And we keep our Christmas lights on and our decorations up in celebration of that. For most people who don't have the faith, Christmas is over already. They took their lights down and the shopping's over. They're looking forward to New Year's. Christmas is our New Year's. And as Catholics, Christmas is every Sunday, every day there's a Mass, because it's called Christ Mass. And we all celebrate Mass on Sunday. So this is what my message is to you. To not fight when they try to take Christmas away from us and try to take Christ out of Christmas. Rather, as Christians, look at the beautiful traditions that we have and appreciate them more and celebrate them more and try your best to maintain them. And then in society, pray for those who don't get to understand, don't get to experience the beauty of our tradition and the beauty and love of our faith. It's something that they're missing. And actually, I begin to feel sorry for all the people that are against our faith. They don't understand it. And a lot of these people are empty inside. And a lot of people in their camp commit suicide. They commit abortion. They take life because they don't appreciate life. God so loved the world that he sent his Son, Jesus Christ, so that all men may have life in abundance, right? And he wrapped him in the form of a baby to show tenderness and love and affection and care, and to help us to be more or better stewards of what we have. And a lot of people miss that message. Instead, this world likes to kill babies, to molest babies. This is why I'm always posting videos and interviews about pedophilia, and we need to bring that to the forefront, because now as a father, I feel way more responsible for my children, and I'm worried about my children, although I've never really enjoyed hearing about kids being abused, but now it's really personal to me because I have kids of my own. And I tried to get my son in modeling and in acting, and the moment they told me that he has to be separated from me and to be with a director and the cast, and I have to stay in a room down the hall, I ended that quickly. I didn't feel comfortable about that. And now more and more uh, news and revelations and prosecutions are coming out about sexual abuse, not just of kids, but of adults as well, and trafficking. And this is a really screwed up world we're living in because they've lost the message of Christianity, which many Christians don't even understand, and they pass a bad name on to the faith, and that's why people don't want to go into the churches anymore, and they want to just be secular, and they want to do just what they want to do, which is the message of the devil. Do what you want, do what you will. That's not the message of Christianity. Message of Christianity is to do the will of the Father. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And if it's on earth, then heaven is on earth, right? On earth as it is in heaven. So we need to begin reflecting on those things. What does it mean to be human? Are we even taking care of each other? Are we seeing the Christ in each other? In other words, are we seeing the baby that needs to be cared for, that needs to be wrapped in swaddling clothes, needs to be fed? Caring for a baby is a lot. I see it as a father. You have to put up with a lot of crying. You have to put up with a lot of tears. You have to be patient when they break the things that you love or misplace the things that you have that are important, and you put in a place where you can find them. It takes a lot of change in you personally as a human being to be patient and loving when you have kids. And this is the message of Christ, why he came to us as a baby. And what did we do to him as an adult? We crucified him. So the world hasn't changed much in 2,000 years, and it's a shame. A wealthy society like America, and we still have homeless. We still have hungry. We still have naked people. We're not taking care of our own. And we have wars that are being fought all around the world. And unfortunately, it's because those countries are not taking care of their own either. They're only doing selfish things of trying to steal from each other. And so wars begin and poverty ensues. So hopefully we're seeing a change. I'm seeing a little bit of a change. I'm seeing more positive things. I'm seeing more people being arrested for bad things. And I'm hopeful for the future. I see new technologies, power being sucked away from those formerly abusive structures like governments and banks, and going more towards the hands of the people where we can decide our fate. However, there's still a battle. We look on social media like YouTube and Twitter where people are getting banned for expressing the truth. Keep expressing the truth even if it gets you killed. Because the reality of it is, do you want to be living in a world where you're a slave, where you're constantly restricted? No. That's not a beautiful world. A world where you can't put up Christmas lights, where you can't study the Bible, where you can't study whatever it is your faith. I'm speaking from a Christian perspective, but I believe in that the others have the right to believe what they believe in, and we should protect that. All of us should have the right to believe in what we believe in, unless you're using it for evil means. And there are radical Muslims, there are radical Christians, and there are radical Jews. There are radicals in every aspect of life, and we just need to be able to recognize them, weed them out, and stop them before they can cause harm to all of us. And rather, we should be looking out for each other and stopping all of the evils in here. Because one day, you may be wealthy today, but one day you could be poor. And if you never look out for the poor while you're wealthy, that day when you're poor, no one's going to look out for you. It just comes around in a fresh circle. So that's my message into the new year. I thank everybody who supported me on Facebook, Steam It, YouTube, Instagram. I love you all. I wish you a happy, prosperous, healthy, safe, and secure new year. And hopefully it will also be one where we can move beyond the pettiness and the smallness of humanity and do something great. How many galaxies are out there that we've discovered and we can see, but we're only on one planet? I mean, there is such a great universe out there with such great potential for us all to grow, expand, and diversify. I mean, imagine the Earth gets knocked out by some giant asteroid, and that's it. I am open to the fact that there may be life around the universe, But as it stands right now, there's no evidence of that yet. They're starting to find UFOs, but I don't even know if UFOs mean that's alien life. It could be technologies from other countries or other players around the world that, they've discovered something that's just phenomenal, where it outpaces the technologies of our governments. I believe that's altogether possible, because Tesla has done some amazing things that our government couldn't even do in creating vehicles that are fully electric, and batteries and solar power and jets that can fly off, and rockets that can fly and land. Our government hasn't even done that. So it's very possible that somebody has invented technology that is unidentifiable in the air, and the militaries of the world can't even catch those planes or those flying objects. But again, I'm open to alien life. But here we are, humans, just on Earth right now as we know it, and there's so much possibility to us. So we need to open our minds to something greater, and be better to each other. And that's my message to all of you. Thank you again for supporting me, and I will soon get that contest going. All right? Take care. Have a good one.